Hello, I'm Ray.
And I'm Jenny, and we're Weber Family Reviews.
You say that with such enthusiasm. I know. Apparently, this channel also includes a number of kids reviewing Legos, which is awesome.
We're talking about their game ideas.
So, well, that's also interesting.
Yes.
But we saw something on the channel before you play. So, YouTube channel before you play. It's a couple that's talking about their game collections and their games. And one of the things they did, which was really amazing, so I'll put a link to it below, is they went through the games that got them into the hobby early on and what they still thought about them. And that idea stuck with us. So we wanted to do the same. We each picked 6, and then we picked one that was actually both of ours. And you wanted to start with that, right?
Yeah, so this is kind of our first co-op, which was Forbidden Island. It's a really easy co-op, and if you wanted to get someone in, this is the way. And we still enjoy Forbidden Island today. Like, this is easily, totally, you want to play it? I'll throw down with you. We have the harder Forbidden Desert, and we certainly have a lot of other co-ops now.
Yeah.
But we still enjoy this game, and we've given this a lot of gifts over the years.
And that tin is taking a beating, and we still play it. I mean, one of the things I noticed as we were going through is, especially me, but you too, we have the games that got us into the hobby. That could be good, bad, maybe we're just ornery. Because mine, one of the things is, I am a miniature gamer. It's slacked off lately. I mean, I've painted one army in the last year, and it was for Star Wars Legion, Rebels. And I'm just moving much slower. I got a lot going on. But Games Workshop Mordheim got me into miniature gaming. This was it. In Grand Forks, North Dakota, with Doug Rains, Ty Allen, and it led to 40K with a number of other friends, including, I'm name dropping now.
Yeah, I know.
Paul David Eineke.
They might not like all your name dropping.
Well, that's a bummer. If you guys don't want, I'll take it down and edit it out. But Mordheim was great. And you built them, you paint them, and then we just moved through a city, and this unit would grow in strength. It was fun. So Mordheim started a lot of it.
One of the very first games I remember playing is I grew up on classics and on card games, but I never played any modern board games until we lived in Ohio, and we got invited to a game night, and our friends Carl and Samantha said, come on. I'm like, okay, seems like a good thing. I met Samantha at the public library. I'm like, okay, game night, we'll try it. Not sure what I know, but one of the games we played that first night was Dominion, and I fell in love with deck building, and we have at some point owned every version of Dominion. We don't own every version now. We sold a couple, gave away a couple when we moved. Because we had an awful experience the first time I played Dark Ages, and that one went when we moved. I think if you played it right, it would be a fine expansion, but it left such a sour taste in my mouth, I have no interest in getting it back. But we still have the base Dominion. I still enjoy all the Dominions. Actually, that's one of my goals for this year, is to rank all the Dominion expansions. And this is a themeless game, but I enjoy that I get to buy all the different pretty cards, and I lose this far more than I win because I get distracted buying pretty cards.
Yep.
And it's not particularly pretty. I mean, I don't think the artwork's anything special, but I enjoy the artwork. It's just the basic fantasy looking stuff, but in the Middle Ages, but I have a lot of fun with it. And I still enjoy it, and I like all the different ones. I even like the expansion that a lot of people didn't like, Alchemy.
Yeah. D&D. This is 5th edition. I started with Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd edition. As you can see, like I said, we still have the ones that got us into it. D&D, I've started playing again, is a role-playing game that is just fun. Get together with a group of people, and you're using rules to play pretend. And role-playing games have been a large part of my life, even though I haven't done it for 20 years. I've hung on, kept some of them, and keep a small library of them. Now I get to play them again, and I love them. And this led to me getting into another one that'll be next. So
Another game I got into, this was one of my first big purchases, was the Carcassonne Big Box. And we've since put it into this. Again, this was a moving decision. The Carcassonne Big Box is really big for no reason. It's a really cool insert, but it's a huge waste of space. You know, just tile laying. And I love that I got to build my little city and see it expand. And I still love it. We've been through we've probably owned every of the standalone expansions. We don't still own all of them. Some of them were better in our opinion than others. But we still own all the base ones. And again, we like some of the expansions better than others. I like a lot more than he does of the expansions. But I just love base Carcassonne. I get to build my little city. I see it expand. Each decision is just easy and quick. So.
Of course. Well, the cat's showing off, but Magic the Gathering. So while we were playing D&D, one guy came by in 1993 and said, "Hey, I got this game." I said, "All right." He said, "You got to buy packs, you got to build decks, but then you get to battle each other." And okay. And then I've been in and out of Magic like 6 times so far. I keep coming back to it.
Yeah, he's still buying packs.
Ta-da! I still play it. I just don't have the time to build as much as I like for the decks, but it's just fun. Magic the Gathering's fun as long as you don't overbuy the packs. So.
Well, he plays that. Our kids play Pokemon now, so.
Yeah.
So he gets to play Pokemon too.
Sure do.
Like a lot of people, I got into Catan early on. I still like Catan. He's not much of a fan of Catan, but our kids like Catan. What they like about Catan is that something happens even when it's not your turn. You don't always get something on the production dice or roll, but a lot of times you do. And so it feels like you're involved even when it's not your turn. And I really like the specialty different Catans, and we have all of those different ones. And some are better than others. And we don't own all the expansions to base Catan. We owned the 5 to 6 player expansion. We don't anymore. It was not our best experience. But just base Catan, the 4 of us with the kids, is a lot of fun.
Yep.
And I still really enjoy it. And I really enjoy all the specialty ones. So I still play a lot of Catan. I think he's well over Catan, but he enjoys playing with the kids.
I enjoy with the right group of people, and this could be said for every game, but with the right group of people, it's fun. And with the kids enjoy it. It's just some of my early ones were way too long.
The 5 to 6 player expansion can get really long. I mean, again, with the right group of people, it's probably just fine.
Well, it wasn't even the 5 or 6 player. I played it before, and I will say I will play it anytime with the family. And if we're doing the Ancient Egypt one, it's pretty neat. Germany's still my favorite. But War of the Ring First Edition, I only have Second Edition, was, in college, got introduced to it, and it's like Risk, only with other stuff. So this was a big dudes on the map, several hour game that you break out and we would play. Now, technically, it's a 2-player game, but we would play teams without, 4, and groups just moving the different factions and taking control of it. It was great, and it got me into, this one really was the one that got me looking at other hobby board games long before you jumped into them. You didn't believe me. It took your friends. It's like, there's better stuff than Taboo. You're like, yeah, go away.
I like Taboo. I still would play Taboo today. We don't own Taboo anymore, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't play it.
I will play any game. I seem to have a problem with that.
Ticket to Ride. I still love Ticket to Ride. I like all the different. No, I like the all the different specialty maps more now. Especially like Pennsylvania and UK. Japan is awesome.
Yes.
But I still enjoy this. I play this on the app constantly. I like being up with a computer. When I broke my leg a couple years ago, I introduced my mom to this on the app because, she could, when she was hanging out with me, because I couldn't drive myself anywhere. That's the worst part about breaking your leg in your 30s is that all of a sudden your parents have to drive you to work and you're like, I thought I got over this 20 years ago. But anyways, thankfully my parents live close enough to help out, so there's pluses of that. But anyways, I still enjoy it. There's just something simplistic and enjoyable about building your little routes across the map. And I enjoyed it. I'm sure some people would be like, oh, it's too boring. I like it. Our kids like it.
Yeah.
We like the little versions with the kids because they're quicker. It's not that our kids can't play the full version. It's just that sitting still that long, sometimes they get kind of over it when it's not their turn and they're waiting. But it's quick. It's easy. It doesn't require a lot of thought. I just enjoy seeing the final product.
I have been yawning through these videos. It's going to look great. So, War of the Ring was a dice chucking. There's strategy, but a dice chucking. My first actual major Euro was Power Grid. Adepticon is a war game convention. And several friends of mine from college and other aspects of my life, we all get together every couple of years. And what happened one year is we played Puerto Rico in this. Now, what's funny is the next time we all got together, we wanted to make sure we had a copy of Power Grid. So I think 4 of us brought it from across the country because we all bought it. It's great. Some people call it very mathy, and it is. It is a Euro. You got to make your connections. You got to power the cities you got to make money, to build more so that you can power more. You got to get power plants, but then you got to buy resources for the power plants. It's great. And this got me into Euros. And I would definitely say I've gotten my play out of this one.
And what's nice is the robots for this actually make it playable at 2 players, and it works pretty well because there's a lot of these games that just don't play at 2 players, and this one, the robots really do work.
It gives you, sometimes you get some wonky stuff, but most of the time you get pretty good.
This is Munchkin, and when we first got into it, I had like every version of Munchkin, and I really enjoyed all the different flavors of Munchkin. Munchkin, though, at 2 players definitely isn't great, and we kind of played out of Munchkin. And the only thing we have left of Munchkin are the holiday Munchkins, and we still play these at the holidays.
And the base one.
And the base one. We have the base one and then the holiday expansion, so we can play the holiday ones. But that's pretty much all we have left of it. It's Easter, Halloween, and Christmas. And we play them at those 3 holidays, so it's not like we still don't play it, but definitely this isn't a game that I'm super interested in playing anymore. Some of it is because it just didn't, at 2-player it wasn't fun. And we, in a larger game setting, we usually had so many other things that just didn't get played. So this is definitely a game I would say we played enough of. That doesn't mean we still don't play it in the right settings. We just have a very specific use for it now.
Okay, now you got to fight the cat for your last one while I show mine. So one of the first games that I convinced my wife to buy, because I remember this, we did... we went to a Barnes & Noble.
Or was it Borders?
Could have been Borders, but...
Borders actually probably still existed then.
It did, but I think it was Barnes & Noble. We bought the Forbidden Island. And I said, I heard that this one was not actually heavily themed Dungeons & Dragons. And you gave me the raised eyebrow. You're like, I don't know. This turned out to be one of the first worker placements that we played together. And now I think we own all the worker placements. I think all of them. If it's a worker placement, you'll buy it and try it.
Place it.
This one's great. Base game is solid, simplistic, but you're trying to get cubes. I apologize. Adventurers.
They're cubes. They're colored cubes.
They're colored cubes. You could get the adventures, and then you're trying to complete quests for points. You got some intrigue cards. It really amps up if you get the expansion, though, because then you've got lots of ways to get points, but they give you corruption, which reduces your points based on the amount of corruption everybody has gotten. So it can definitely, when you're using the expansions, it gets good. There's 2 expansions. I always remember the corruption one because that really changes it and makes you have to choose. So Lords of Waterdeep, And I don't even think I said the name during that whole thing.
Yeah.
Lords of Waterdeep is one that if you can find and you like worker placement, even if you don't like the D&D thing, you should try it. It's a blast. It's good.
It's a good starter worker placement too, if people aren't into it.
Yeah.
That's the other one that we got, and we've still got it here somewhere. I just didn't think to, but that we got. It was a clearance deal. Was Fresco, which was another worker placement, and I really like. Oh, these are all these different cool themes, and that one you're building a mosaic, and I realized that I really enjoy all those different themes. This one, the theme doesn't do anything, but there's no theme here. It's as themeless as Dominion, especially with the cubes. I mean, you could make it more, but it's really not there. And I think that was the first one that convinced me that, sometimes games, you can look past the theme.
Does that mean I get to go to Etsy and get us, like, wizards?
But I just said that it was better because I didn't feel the theme.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah. So, okay. I got to fight the cat for my last one.
He's like, no. Come here, Shadow. Come here.
So this is Academy Games 1812, and if you've watched some other videos, you know I really like the Academy Games series. And this was one of the first ones I really got into. I realized, oh my gosh, there's these really good historical games that actually are historically accurate, and they teach while they're at it. And I really enjoyed that about it. I've never been much of a area control kind of that dudes on a map where you're taking over stuff, but these work for me. And both this and then 1775 were the first two that I was like, I need those. I need to get into those. And then since then, like, we buy every Academy Games as they come out. Now, there's been a couple we haven't kept, but we've pretty much played every one of them. I even found at the thrift store one of the original ones and bought them. We played them once and then ended up passing them on.
They were definitely those were more war game chits. Yeah.
But it even got me to play those, so.
Yep. And I looked up the invasion of Canada because I didn't know about in War of 1812 we attempted to invade Canada.
Well, and we really thought in the War of 1812 that Canada was going to be like, oh, cool, we want to join you, we're leaving. And they were like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
So I teach history. I can go on about this for days. You don't want me to.
Nope. I don't have that much time on my phone. So those are the games that got us into it. I was really thinking about we should talk about why, what we feel about them now. But here's the thing. We still have them all. My Mordheim miniatures are not there, but I've got lots of miniatures that can be used for Mordheim. We've got 1812. We've got Catan. We've got, and it was Settlers of Catan at the time, but we got the updated version because our box was wearing out. I've got 2nd edition War of the Ring.
No, we've got too much stuff and we're moving, so we got rid of our copy, then we end up rebuying it, but we found it for $1 at the thrift store. Sealed. Always
go to the thrift stores if you got a chance first for the classics.
I mean, it's funny. It's sometimes there'll be nothing but the they make the joke of the 10 copies have seen it. But then other times you find some really good stuff. But it's hit or miss, and it just depends on what's there the day you walk in.
Barnes & Noble sale area, also beautiful.
Yep.
So, those are the games that really got us into the hobby, and, we still got them. So I guess they're good, at least for us.
Well, and there's a lot of other games that we like. These got us into the more modern gaming.
Yep.
But, they're all still, and there's certainly been plenty that have come and gone, and we've gotten better at decisions. There's a lot of games we bought early on that we realized after a couple of plays, these aren't very good. We've gotten better at, I think, choosing what will play for us.
Yep.
We've gotten better at picking that. We made a lot of, I think, those decisions early on that this doesn't suit us. We're better at that. It's kind of like how I pick recipes to cook. I'm much better now than I was 10 years ago at knowing what we'll eat. So, okay, I'm off topic. We'll talk to you next time.
See you later. Bye.